Self-schemas are beliefs and ideas about ourselves modified by our own life experiences that reflect our values and interests. Self-schema is formed in early childhood based on feedback from caregivers, but throughout life we modify our own self-schema based on our own experiences. A relevant example is that if our self-schemas lead us to think that we are attractive, we would feel more confident about dating and we would probably not get nervous. When does self-schema become important? Self-schemas generate motivation to change the present self to a better self and help individuals make sense out of the world. Some benefits include help predicting our ideal future and processing information about ourselves with relative ease. When does self-schema become not important? When generalized by society based on particular stereotypes and by receiving too much of a good thing, such as too much protection, excessive freedom, no limits, or overindulgence can also lead to poorly adjusted schemas. What context stops this concept from emerging? Negative stereotypes impact the way that self-schema emerges, both internally and externally. Why does self-schema matter? It matters because it generates motivation to have consistent self, which generates behavior to create the ideal self and avoids negative feedback that might defeat the self-view, and have possible self by creating motivation to move forward to the future self. The major point in the article, self-schema and self-discrepancy mediate the influence of Instagram usage on body image satisfaction among youth, is that self-esteem is an impact on our self-schema resulting in self-discrepancy. The study goes that self-esteem moderates the negative influence of Instagram photo exposure on body satisfaction, which is mediated by appearance of self-schema and self-discrepancy. To test this hypothesis, 273 university students ages 18 through 26 using Instagram were surveyed on Instagram usage, self-esteem, and body satisfaction. As it turns out, the hypothesis was correct. Young people tend to invest in their looks and appearance, evaluating their actual and ideal self-discrepancy, and display satisfaction with appearance and body if their self-esteem is low. In conclusion, the intensity of positive Instagram influence is dependent on self-esteem. Why is self-schema important for human motivation, emotion, or human functioning in general? It directs individual behavior in ways that give feedback, such as physical habits, the way someone dresses, social identity, the way someone portrays themselves to relate to society, and roles, such as leadership. It also moves present self towards future self, and by selective interaction, which we intentionally choose who we interact with.